Welcome, all of our viewers and listeners, to Too Much is Never Enough podcast with Jovi and Karen. So, today, our subject is going to bring a lot of value to you. We're talking about being your true, authentic self. So, I want you to take a moment here and just think about that for a second. Your true, which is being truthful, authentic, authenticity, self. What does that mean? When we hear the word true, it's kind of scary because you have to be vulnerable, right? And be truthful, but to be your authentic self. So Jovi, asking that question living in the light, look at the light.
Right.
What is the light? We're just beaming with all this great energy. What does living your true authentic self mean to you?
For me, being your true authentic self is just being you. Even if you have how do you say it? Like, for me personally, when I start speaking, I know I have an accent. So allowing my accent to go or overflow it, like that's being my true authentic self. A lot of people ask, they're like, so what are you? What's your nationality?
Yeah.
For me personally, whenever I say, I'm American, but I'm also, Latino or Mexican American, because of my heritage. So me being my true authentic self, I love eating the foods that my family makes. Just be me and just speaking the truth, basically, your own truth, basically.
Yes.
Not faking it, just being you. If you can't be you, there's no point, and there's some people that like swearing,
Yes.
and it's okay. For me personally, they're like, can I say that? That's you, go ahead, that's the way I see it. You have to be yourself. If you can't be yourself around people, it's not fair to fake it, and not show who you are and who you stand for, or what you stand for, basically.
Wow.
What about you?
Well, so many things were just popping in my head when you were speaking, because I was thinking about that. Your true authentic self is being who you are and not being on, right? On camera. Everybody's on camera every day, quote unquote, because what? We are putting ourselves out in the world. We're putting out an image and creating maybe something that we're not to impress other people, when the only person that you need to impress is yourself. Impress yourself with your values, your morals, and your ethics. So being your true authentic self is allowing your heart to be open, being vulnerable, and speaking your truth. Some people are going to like you and some aren't. And it really doesn't matter who likes you and who doesn't. The most important person is yourself. I know for many years when I was growing up, my mom had a saying, whatever stays in this house, whatever happens in this house stays in this house. Don't tell anybody anything. And it made you too, right? For me, it made me afraid to even talk to anybody. How about you?
Same here. I was very shy, very reserved as a kid. Like, we couldn't say anything. It was just like, okay, what goes around in the house stays in the house, and that's it. And it's just like, you don't even know too many stories, so that's the part where it's like, can I talk about this, or is it a taboo, or and for me personally, like, in my household, we were very religious. You were raised a certain way and you had to follow the rules. There was no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It had to go that way, and I'm still religious, don't get me wrong. Like, and the rules, I still like keep them too. But at the same time, and I appreciate that from my family, that's the one thing I do appreciate. But at the same time, it shut you off from other people, or from opening up other avenues, in other words.
I was just thinking that word avenues when you were talking about opening up the avenues. Exactly. It made like roadblocks for us to not speak, to not share what was going on or anything about our lives. It was to be very private. And coming from that same aspect, I mean, my father I'm first generation American. He came from Italy, and I'm very grateful for the background that I had. Very strict, very disciplined, very religious in the Catholic religion, and very regimented and disciplined. I appreciate all of that. At the same time, flip side of the coin to that is that you're very quiet and you don't speak, and you're afraid to talk. And so for many years, I was afraid to use my voice. And now look at us today.
I know, tell
we've
me
got,
about it.
we've got the world's best podcast ever, and we're talking, breaking out, of the patterns or the non-authenticity that was on us. I have realized in the last couple of years how life could be so freeing once you release fear. We live with a lot of fear, and I know that that's a subject for another day. I just want to bring the point up that if you're not your true authentic self, you're living in fear and you're lying to yourself. You're pretending to be somebody for somebody else. You're trying to be like somebody for somebody else. You're trying to please somebody by changing yourself for someone. And that might be okay for that person, but you're true authenticity away from you. The best example I could give of that is like in a best friend relationship. You have a best friend and you do everything together and you want to please that person. And, maybe they want to go somewhere that you don't want to go, but you sacrifice something to please them. Or you may give a compliment to somebody just because it's going to make them feel good, but you're not being honest about it. Honesty is always the best policy. Always, in any situation. Your true feelings are so important for yourself and your well-being. It's also important for somebody else to know that they can trust you by giving them that fact of the truth of that authenticity in your word. And I also believe the words that you speak are so powerful, and that your word has to always be true. If it comes out like a lie or it's fake,
Exactly.
it just that negative energy, and it's not good. I definitely know that the world has seen that through just all the different, things that happen in politics, and watching, Hollywood, anybody, who's on a massive camera or a big platform as an influencer. People think that that's the real life. It's not the real life. It's all an act, but we're not here to act. We're here to react from our good actions that we're doing. We're not here to be actors. We're here to act appropriately as humans, and just be real and be free and just have fun.
Exactly.
In the dating world, it's scary. I know you and I are both in that dating world right now, which that'll be another topic. However, if we present ourselves in a fake way, how's anyone really going to be able to be attracted to who we exactly are?
You have to be yourself. You can't please anyone else. And my biggest thing is, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
You're not, and I've seen it, and I know you have seen it too, that, some people are like, oh, she's so positive. Why? And it's just like, that's just who you are and who you want to be. Why not be positive? Especially in a world that's not positive. It's the way I see it.
Wow. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I have been called fake several times throughout my life because people can't understand why I'm happy or why I'm so positive. And when you look into my personal life, it literally has been one tragedy after another, after another, after another, just complete tragedies. But through every single one of those, I did not allow myself to be kept in a place of sadness or a place of regret. I've always had that positive mindset because I always knew something is going to be better. And I think it's Annie, the musical, "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow." I loved that song. The sun will come out tomorrow. Don't you worry about tomorrow, right? And those words, those resonated in my head as a child through a lot of different, things that I was going through. And I taught that to all my children. The sun's going to come up tomorrow. It's going to be a brand new day. You get a chance to start over. In fact, today, in one of my meditation classes, I was talking about pressing the restart button. Every single second is a brand new restart. Just like this, you can change your mindset. You can make your choice. If you think you're going on vacation, but it's going to rain when you're on vacation, now your whole vacation is going to be ruined. Because why? You're already premeditating that it's going to be rainy and you're not going to be able to have a good time. You're creating those thoughts in your head. But if you allow things just to go just the way that they are, follow along. It's all been planned out. Just buckle up that seatbelt and have fun. And once in a while, throw your hands up in the air and just have a good time.
Exactly. Even if it's raining, go dancing in the rain. Hey,
yes,
you have to.
Have you ever?
Yeah, we would, especially as kids, especially when we were in Texas with my grandmother. She would have us clean out like the store part to like if there was too many leaves or stuff like that. So we would go out in the rain and we would just play in the rain. It was crazy. And we were cleaning, but at the same time we were like playing in our heads. It was like, you're dancing in the rain. And we were dancing in the rain. It was fun.
Yes, I love that. I have danced in the rain as a child, as an adult. I love the rain. Last night there was a huge thunderstorm and I could see the lightning from my window. And I was just recently in Florida and I spent the night on the beach. I slept on the beach, which, a little disclaimer, I don't advise people to do this. However, I did, and I was safe and I felt protected. But I was able to hear, the ocean and get that backsplash of the water. And it was just absolutely amazing. So nature teaches us so much. The rain is comforting. Our bodies are made of mostly water. So we are very close to, being part of this universe. And the more that we connect ourselves to it, I believe that our true authenticity comes out because we are really, truly one with nature.
Exactly. And you have to be one with nature.
Yeah.
You can't, that's where meditation comes in play. And I think more because of the meditation that you've always taught us. It helps you, once you're one with the universe or one with God, it's just flows for whatever reason. It just, things start happening. It's amazing. It's weird. I don't know how or what. And I know you know that because it's happening to you.
Well, as well as you do too. We both know what's going on, in each other's lives, and it's very imperative for people to understand that when you are at a vibration that is very low, you are going to attract low vibrational people in your life. When you're at a high vibration, you will attract high vibration people, and everything just starts to ebb and flow. I'm a networker just like you. I network and meet people constantly. And the type of people that I attract that I'm speaking with all have basically the same mindset. They have this free spirit, almost gypsy-like way of thinking. Some are in the corporate world, some are entrepreneurs, some are, stay-at-home moms or dads. Interesting, because I really start taking like a poll and like just knowing like who I met for the day and like how I met them and where I met them, because I can start a conversation anywhere, but once your heart is open, it allows other people to be open. So your true authenticity of yourself, if you're closed up, other people are going to be closed up. You're not going to have that communication. But when you're open and everything's just flowing, it just all falls into place. And it can be kind of weird, but I also like to think of it as being very magical. We really don't know how we got here, and we really don't know where we're going after. So it's like this, like I feel like we're like living in this like magical type of time frame, and any opportunity that we get that's going to be good and safe for us, I do believe we should take it. So I have a question for you. Your daughter just went off to college, and have just this year become an empty nester in a way. How has it been for you to find your true authenticity of yourself from always being mom every single day to now being Jovi?
Just being Jovi. It was hard when
Mhm.
she first left. It was hard. I was like, what am I gonna do now? I'm not sure what to do. And for me, it was, I guess you can say difficult, but at the
Mhm.
same time, that's when I started realizing I'm like, okay, well, you can do this, you can do that. I have options now, and it's just like I've never really had options, I was always like, okay, we're doing this, this, and this. I had every regiment to like the T. Um, everything planned out from, the morning to the afternoon, cleaning and all that stuff. So
Yes.
it's different now. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get there where it's like, okay, what else do I like? What are the things that I want to do with my life? I'm at that
Yes.
point right now where it's like, okay, well, I have this, that I want to do. And, like I'm actually heading out to California, and I can't believe that I'm actually going to San Diego, and
I
it's
love it.
happening. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm happy. I don't know. I'm just happy. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. It's happening.
It is happening. The movement's happening. When you're being pushed and you can feel it, when there's a change and things get a little disruptive and you start to wonder, forget about the wonderment of anything. Just go with your gut and just feel it and accept it and the term let it go, just go with it. I like to say that all the time, instead of, let it go, go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it. See where it's going to take you. And you're the one that's making the decision for your life. You're the one who's accepting or non-accepting. You're the one that's creating the barrier or the non-attachment of what's going on. It's so important to allow the process to flow. Sometimes I think of life as being like a factory. There's a big factory and there's the, what do you call it? I can't think of it, but you're in a factory and they're just kind of lining everything up and somebody's putting something in here and putting it there and stamping this, just a factory. If you live your life like that every single day, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, and only allowing yourself this much time of relaxation, this much time of exploring, this much time of adventure, you're not living. But no matter what your job is, think of it as the up and down, like the roller coaster. You're going to have your highs, you're going to have your lows, but it's just a ride. Just go with it. Just go with the ride. And it's going to stop and there's going to be some quiet times and then it's going to awaken and there's going to be exciting times. And at the end of all of that, if you're being your true authentic self, you're truly living your purpose in your life.
That's true. No, it's
Yeah.
true. And you have to live your true authentic self and go from there, because if you don't, what's life about? Are you actually living in the matrix where it's just like, you know, walking this straight line and it's just like, what are you living for? Or for who are you living for, basically?
Exactly. And heck to the no on that. Massive mic drop. No way. I left corporate America in 2016. I have been happier. I remember the day I left, it was a Good Friday. So we're coming up on Good Friday. It'll be next Friday. Yes. I will also be in San Diego visiting my daughter, but it comes up on the anniversary for me of 6 years of leaving corporate America. I just left. I walked out. I was so free. And the good thing about that is my children used to say, Mom, you're fun employed, because I just was doing what I was doing to make money and start my businesses, but I wasn't in that matrix anymore. And that was by my choice. Now, had I been there and things were good, amen, it would have been great. But I'd still find time with taking care of myself and so forth. But to be your true authentic self is to listen to your heart and go in the direction where your desires mostly are. That's what's going to make you happy. And when you put your head on your pillow at night, you can go to sleep, rest assured that you lived the best day that you could for that day. No regrets, not being fake, but being your true self.
Exactly. That's true.
So happy that you and I have our podcast, because it has just been it's such a great platform. So I know that next time we're going to have a guest on. So viewers and listeners, just know that we are open to guests coming on. If you would like to be a part of our podcast, drop us a message and get in touch with us, and then we will give you a call and we'll be able to voice you on this platform. This is a platform for, there never is too much of anything. You can never have too much love. You can never have too much patience, too much money, too much travel, too much fun. There's always more. There's never enough time. And even though we're given 24 hours a day, there's still not enough time to do what you want to do. So we welcome all of you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate it, Karen.
I love you, Jovi.
I love you too. Bye-bye.